Alright guys, in this lesson we'll be calculating your gross pay. I know if y'all watched my video of multiplying by percentages, on my phone it looked pretty decent, my computer not so much, so I'm going to try my best to see how to fix that and go from there. So do please bear with me as I'm learning how to do all this. Um, Before we calculate your gross pay, let's go over some definitions real quick. I mean, some of y'all might know this already, but just in case. Hourly pay. Hourly pay, of course, is when an employee is paid an hourly rate for each hour that they work. So, when you get paid $10 an hour, that's your hourly pay. Salary pay. It's typically a set amount of money you make annually for the year, regardless of how many hours you work. So, I can work 50 hours a week and I'm still going to get paid the same no matter what, if I even work 30 hours a week. That's just the way it goes when you get a salary. Dependent. And it's just not too important for you guys. The only reason why I bring it up is because you'll see in most of my problems later that I'll say has no dependents, because things do change drastically once you start having dependents on how you're going to get taxed and everything like that. But that's for a lesson further from here. But I just wanted you to know what a dependent is and why I put it in there. Just, it's not going to affect you too much. Most of you, I'm using problems pretty much that maybe they're married but they have no dependents. Like I said, none of y'all will have dependents for a while, so I figured just do problems that didn't contain dependents. So, a dependent, of course, is someone you can claim on your taxes, typically a child, but can also be a relative. If you really want to find out what a dependent is and how somebody qualifies as your dependent, you can click on that link and see how it goes. I mean, you can't click on the link in the video, but there will be a PDF of this in the website, and you can click on that link and find out. It's not really important for you guys at this moment. Gross pay. Now, your gross pay is the amount of income made before taxes are taken out. Of course, income stands for pay. It's the same thing. But this is typically how much you would figure if you worked 30 hours at $10 an hour, that you make like $300. That would be your gross pay. But of course, after taxes are taken out, that's not how much money you're really taking. But for this lesson, we're just going to figure out the gross pay. Overtime. So many companies don't pay overtime, but just in case it ever comes up, this is when an hourly employee works over 40 hours for the week. And each hour worked over 40 hours, the employee will receive 1.5 times his normal rate. So pretty much overtime is, let's say you worked 48 hours in a week. Well, of course, that's 8 hours of overtime. Well, you'll get 1.5 times your normal rate. So let's say you make, easy number here, $10 an hour. Well, instead of making just $10 an hour, you'll be making 1.5 times that, so $15 an hour for those 8 hours that you worked overtime. So it's good to get overtime if you can. You just get paid more in the long run. Of course, types of pay schedules, you'll need to know this. If you get paid weekly, that just means you get paid each and every week or once every week. And bi-weekly, you get paid every 2 weeks. So just every 2 weeks, you'll just get your paycheck calculated up, and every 2 weeks you get paid. A lot of hourly employees will usually get paid weekly or bi-weekly. Semi-monthly, you just get paid twice a month. Typically, if you get paid on the 1st and you get paid on the 15th. And this is all subjective to the company, wherever you work for, when they're going to pay you. But it's usually twice a month, and most places I know will pay you on the 1st and the 15th. And then, of course, monthly, you just get paid once a month. Once again, that's all subjective to what your company or whoever you work for decides. And, typically it's usually on the 1st of every month. But let's go ahead and delve in here and get into the problems. So, once again, let's make sure we read the instructions to know what we got to be doing. It says answer each question below. When submitting answers into Google Forms, do not use a $sign or commas, and be sure to round to the nearest hundredths place. Example 2790.13. Alright guys, once again, of course, dollars and cents and rents round to the nearest hundredths place, so that's why we're doing that. That's why I had you do it in the previous lesson. Also, just please don't put a dollar sign or a comma into the Google form. It'll count it wrong. It's just easier to tell you guys not to do that rather than have so many different answers. And then just don't put any commas or dollar signs or anything when you put in your answers into Google Forms. All right, calculating your gross pay is pretty easy. Hourly is a little bit harder than salary, but we'll see. Let's see here. Just bear with me for a second. Of course, gross pay, and we're going to build from this. So we're going to go from gross pay, and then we're going to start talking about your taxes and everything like that. But that's for further lessons. For today, let's just calculate our gross pay and have an easy lesson right now. All right, guys. So gross pay. Once again, gross pay, if you remember, is just pretty much how much you would take home. Before taxes. So let's look here real quick. It says Zach is single and has no dependents. That'll be more important later on. Right now, it's not so important. You can figure out gross pay. He is currently working at Dairy Queen and is making $9.50 an hour. He's currently getting paid weekly. And this week, he worked 31 hours. What will Zach's gross income be? Well, once again, this is pretty straightforward. Finding the gross income, all we're going to have to do is just take his hourly rate. I'm trying to get a little bit closer because I know the video was terrible, the last one. So we're going to take $9.50 and multiply it. Then once again, take the hourly rate and multiply it to 31 for the 31 hours he worked. So times 31. Let me take that guy and let's take him over to the calculator real quick. So let's see here. So we're going to take 9.5 times 31. And lo and behold, we get $294.50. All right, so $294.50. Once again, don't put dollars and cents, and make sure we do round to the nearest hundred. So we are, since it does say 0.5, we still just need to add that 0 for 50 cents. All right, so real quick. So our answer, well, I'm not going to keep writing these answers down, guys. The answer is just $294.50. That's what you would plug in. Okay. Oh, let me get rid of this real quick. Let's move on to the next problem. Pretty straightforward and simple. All right, so this one, Maria is married but has no children. Once again, be very important later, but not right now. She got a job working as a youth advisor and will be making $9.75 an hour. She is being paid weekly. This week she worked 39 hours. What will Maria's gross income be? Once again, gross income, or income is the same as pay. It's kind of the same words. Once again, make sure you pay attention to that word before the income part, the gross. It does make a difference when they're asking that. Like I said, gross is the amount that you take, that you would have before taxes. So real quick, same thing here. This is going to take, let's get a little bit closer. We're going to take a 9.75 and multiply it. Take our rate, multiply it to the hours. So 39 hours times 39. Let's take that guy over to the calculator. So 9.75 times 39 equals $380.25. So there would be your answer right there, $380.25. All right, move on to the next one. And some of these are a little more complicated than the last, but the weekly ones are pretty easy. Okay. So Carlos is working construction and gets paid by the hour bi-weekly, so twice a week. So he is currently receiving $26 an hour. The first week of the pay period, he worked a total of 28 hours. And the second week, he worked 36 hours. Carlos is married, but he does not have any dependents. Determine Carlos's gross pay. All right, so he's getting paid bi-weekly, so he works 2 weeks and then gets paid. Well, he worked 28 hours one week and then 36 hours another week. So on this paycheck, he's going to get 36 hours. I'm sorry. He's going to get his 36 hours plus 28 hours for a total of, and if you need to use your calculator, 64 hours. So, of course, in this paycheck, once again, we're going to take his total hours that he worked here, and we're going to multiply it to his pay rate, which is $26. So, once again, let's take that guy with a calculator. One second, guys, sorry. I'm trying to keep my notes here as well. All right, so Carlos, his bi-weekly paycheck will make 64 times 26. So his gross pay would be $1,664. And once again, please do add in. I know it seems kind of silly, but go ahead and put 1,664.00. Once again, like the instructions say, we need two numbers after the decimal place. All right, guys, let's see here. Let's get rid of this. Okay, move on to the next one. All right, so we just take Carlos. I'm going to do Ashley next. So Ashley is currently working at this local supermarket in town. She is not married and does not have any dependents. She gets paid bi-weekly and will receive $11.50 an hour. Last week she worked 40 hours, and this week she worked 27 hours. What will be Ashley's gross pay? So once again, looking for the gross pay. All right, let me get this up. Okay. So we see that she worked 40 hours one week and 27 the next. So like I said, since it's bi-weekly, we are taking 2 weeks. So 40 plus 27. And we get 67 total hours is what she worked. So of course, to find our gross pay, we're going to take the number of hours times our pay rate of $11.50. Again, let's take this guy with the calculator, and we'll see that her gross pay would be 67 times 11.5. So her gross pay will be $770.50. Guys, once again, please put two numbers to the right of the decimal, and dollars and cents, guys. We can't just put 770.5. Okay, your paycheck stub will show 770.50 if it has to. All right. Moving on to the next one. We just did Ashley. Let's move on to Samantha. Samantha is working as a receptionist for the local hotel. She is currently being paid at a rate of $13.25 an hour and gets paid weekly. This week, she worked 47 hours. Samantha is single and has no dependents. What will be Samantha's gross pay? Well, this one's a little bit different than the others that we had because she did work more than 40 hours this week. And you can see, of course, hold up one second. course, we can see that she worked 47 hours. So we'll take 47 minus 40, and we see that she worked 7. The reason why I did that is see how many overtime hours she got. Alrighty. So we got, of course, regular hours. Regular pay rate hours. That's what I'm calling them, regular hours. It's 40. Overtime is 7. Alright, real quick. Pay rate. $13.25. Alright, I'm taking that because I gotta do some math here. Let's see. Really still not too difficult. We're just gonna have to add up a little bit more. So I'm gonna take this guy real quick. I'm going to take him over to the calculator. The reason why I'm doing this is because, once again, your overtime hours, the pay rate's a little bit different. So I do want to figure that out first, real quick. So I'm going to take her pay rate, 13.25. And pretty much for the most part, I've never heard them paying any difference. But you get 1.5 times your pay rate. So just take times 1.5. So she will get $19.88 for her overtime hours. Once again, I know it says 0.875, but we're going to take that 7. Look to the right of that 7, we see a 5. And so, of course, round that 7 up to an 8. So we get 88 cents. All right, so real quick. I just want to take this to the calculator again. Bear with me, guys. That. Alrighty. So we do see that her overtime rate is $19.88. Alright, so I can take our pay rate of $13.25, and of course we're going to multiply that to 40 because she worked 40 hours at the regular pay rate. Our overtime rate of $19.88, well, she worked 7 hours, so take that pay rate times 7. Alrighty, let's go back to the calculator. Sorry guys, this is a little bit more than I thought, but let's take this. I know it seems like a lot. Okay, boom. Let's go here. Oh, sorry. Calculator. All right. So her regular hours, she's going to take 40 times 13.25. And for her regular hours, she'll get $530. Alrighty. I'll remember that number in a second because I can't write it right now, but let's see how much she gets for overtime. So 19.88 times 7, and we see she'll get $139.16 for her overtime. All right, so I know this one takes just a little bit more work, but it's not too bad. All right. So, of course, we found out that her pay rate of $13.25 times her 40 hours that she worked for regular hours, she made $530. 1 second. So, 530 goes here. Of course, her overtime rate of $19.88 times her 7 hours of overtime, she made $139.16. So, of course, we can add those up. Once again, you can use your calculator. I'm not, so I don't want to keep snapshotting and going back and forth. But we add it all up, and we see that she will make $669.16. All right. Next problem. Of course, that was Samantha. All right, let's see what we got next. All right, so Jason is working for the oil company. He is making $17.50 an hour, and he's being paid bi-weekly. Okay. So Jason is married but has no dependents. Last week he worked 48 hours, and this week he worked 55 hours. What will be Jason's gross pay? All right, guys, so he is being paid bi-weekly, so that once again that means he'll be paid every 2 weeks. So they calculate for 2 weeks what he's being paid. But we can see the first week where it says last week he worked 48 hours. 1 second. Well, if you've already done the math and figured it out, he did do some overtime because, and it's very important to know how many hours he worked each week, because once you get over 40 hours, you get overtime hours. So of course we got 48 minus 40. So 8. And another week he worked 55 hours minus 40, so 15. So 1 week he worked 8 hours overtime, and another week he worked 15. So of course we take 8 plus 15, and we see he worked 23 hours overtime. So real quick, let's write this down. Regular hours. Well, regular hours are pretty easy to know, because once again, he already worked 40 hours 1 week plus some time, and then 40 hours another week plus some time. That's hence the overtime hours 23. So 40 plus 40, of course, is 80. So we had a total of 80 regular hours. Overtime hours, he had 23. Of course, now we need to find the rate. So his regular rate, he's making $17.50. So I need to find his overtime rate. Alright, so in order to find his overtime rate, take it over to the calculator. Not too much. Hopefully that's enough screen. Okay. Our last problem. So it's overtime rate. Once again, to find the overtime rate, you're going to take his regular rate, $17.50, and multiply it to 1.5 times. So 1.5. So it looks like he gets $26.25 for the overtime rate. Give this a second. Almost there. Let's get rid of this one real quick. So let's see here. 26.25. All right. So now to find the regular amount of pay that he gets, he's going to take the $17.50, his regular pay rate, multiply that to the number of regular hours he worked, and overtime rate. Of course, we're going to take the $26.25, his overtime rate, times how many overtime hours he worked, 23. Okay. Let's take this over to the calculator real quick. All right, let's see what he got. So we'll find out what his regular hours got him. So 17.50 times his 80 hours that he worked. So 1,400. And let's remember that number. I'll write that down in a second. So let's find out what he made for overtime. So 26.25 times, once again, his rate, overtime rate, times the overtime hours, $603.75. Of course, we add up those two numbers together. If you don't remember what they were, it's that number plus the 1,400. Oh, that's definitely off. Once again, 1,400 plus, sorry, 603.75. All right, so he'll make $2,003.75 in his next paycheck. Real quick, let me write this down for you guys. Just so you see. All right. Let's get rid of that. So I know it gets a little hard to see things if I don't get up close enough. So once again, his regular rate, he made $1,400. His overtime rate, $603.75. So altogether, like we found, he made $2,003.75. That will be his gross pay that he takes home. All right. Next one. Okay. Andrew is working at the local aquarium as a marine biologist. His annual salary is $98,500 a year. He has just gotten married but has no dependents. He currently gets paid monthly. What will Andrew's gross pay for each paycheck he receives? Okay, salary is a little bit easier because all you got to do is take the salary and divide it by how many paychecks he's going to get. So in this case, since he's getting paid monthly and his annual salary is $98,500, well, he's going to get 12 paychecks, for 12 months in a year. So all we need to do is take 98,000. Oops, sorry. So all we need to do is take that 98,500. And divide it by 12. Again, let's take that guy with the calculator. It should be a little bit quicker now. So 98,500 divided by 12. All right, so it looks like he'll be making $8,208.33 every paycheck on his gross pay. Once again, that's for gross pay. So every month. Once again, every month, his gross pay will be $8,208.33. Sorry for my writing abilities, guys. Y'all know I'm terrible, but okay. Hopefully that made sense. Let's look at the next one. Tara just got a job as a professor at the state college. She'll be making an annual salary of $96,300 and will be paid semi-monthly. Okay, once again, you got to remember semi-monthly means being paid twice a month. So Tara is currently single and does not have any dependents. Determines Sarah's gross pay for each paycheck. Okay, guys, well, once again, it's pretty easy to figure this out as long as you know what semi-monthly is. So she's getting paid twice a month. And there's 12 months in a year. Well, we take 12 months in a year times 2, because once again, 12 months times getting paid twice a month. So she's getting a total of 24 paychecks. Well, like I said, to find her gross pay is pretty easy. You just take the 96,300 and divide it by 24. Take him over the calculator real quick. Promise not to take too much longer. Got one more problem with this. So we got 96,300 divided by 24. Boom. So what she'll be making is gross pay $4,012.50. Once again, make sure you put that 0.50 at the end. We do have to account for that 0 cents. All right, so that's her gross pay. All right, last one. So I'm trying to move quickly for you guys. All right, it says Michael is a surgeon and is currently getting an annual salary of $189,000 a year. He has opted to get his paychecks weekly. Not very common, but it can happen. Michael is currently single with no dependents. What will be Michael's gross pay for each paycheck? All right, guys. So Michael is getting $189,000 a year. He's getting paid weekly. Well, if you don't know, you can look it up, but there are 52 weeks in a year, so that you'll be getting 52 paychecks. So all we need to do here is once again take 189,000, take his salary, and divide it by the amount of paychecks to find his gross pay. Oh, sorry, 52. Let's go over here. So, of course, we're going to have to round a little bit. Let me go and do that real quick. Finish this off. So, on each paycheck, let's round this real quick. So, as that says 61, we look to the right of that says 5. So, we will round up to 62. So, his gross pay on each paycheck will be $3,634.62 each and every time. Alright guys, that was the last problem. Please do submit your assignment into the Google form link, and y'all have a nice day. Thank you.